170 streams and downloads.
All right, so let's try this again. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast coming up next. We are going to talk about Devon on Maven's podcast with Bubba Ray, and they spoke about racism. We're going to talk about that coming up next.
Following podcast scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.
We back. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for more content. Let's get right into it. You see the topic of discussion. Who's that?
Big X the plug.
Oh, okay. All right.
He from Dallas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that joint sound like it's hitting.
It be hitting, bro. It be hitting.
Yeah,
I like me some Big X the plug, bro. You gotta listen. You gotta listen to some Texas music. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I got some. I got some South folks in my on my joint. Yeah, I got.
You said South. I said Texas.
Okay, all right. So Texas, Texas.
We are on down here.
Okay, so Texas. All right, I got you. I'm definitely going to look that up. Texas. All right.
Anyways, I ain't mean get off topic. We ain't getting off topic like that because we got some stuff to say about this.
Yeah. So recently, Devon Dudley was on Maven's podcast, and he spoke about racism, and he spoke about a particular WWE exec, a high-ranking exec at that time that he was in WWE, said some pretty hurtful things towards him, and we're going to give our comments on that. So I'll let you go first, and then I'll tap in right after that.
Well, for those of you that have been paying attention, you know who we're talking about or who Devon was talking about. For those of you that haven't been paying attention and would like to know, I'll tell you. We're talking about good old JR.
Yeah.
And number one, I will say, it doesn't even surprise me that it's coming from him. Why? Because I actually live right now where he's from, Oklahoma. I'm not going to dox myself and tell you exactly where, but in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also from Texas, and I know racism runs deep in Oklahoma and Texas. And the further east you go from Oklahoma and Texas, the worse it gets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not at all surprised it's coming from JR. This is also not the first time that, somebody has come out about JR being a certain kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So again, not surprising. I am glad that Devon has spoke up. I think we need more people of color, whether if it's Black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, whatever, to speak up when it comes to racism, especially in a sport that we all deeply love, professional wrestling.
Yep.
Because we know that we've seen the stories, or heard the stories, I should say, about Vince McMahon. We currently are seeing Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
And no, people, I don't want to hear anything about, well, Jade Cargill is the women's champion or Naomi was the world heavyweight women's champion. That was recently. Recently.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Cargill recently became champion.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi had to change her whole persona to become champion.
Yeah, you know what? And you know what? Not to cut you off, but I was watching this one content creator. I forgot his name, but he kind of spoke on that, and he basically said that, if you notice how they won't accept a black man, an aggressive black man on television being aggressive and becoming the WWE champion, but they would accept a aggressive black woman being WWE champion on television. And if you noticed, they have taken that same route with Jay Cargill.
There it is.
They basically, this is what they did, and by no means, and I'm frowning on her being WWE Women's Champion. I'm not frowning on it. I'm just pointing out what they did. They took the same, kind of like the same scenario, gimmick, whatever, with Naomi, and they just put Jay Cargill in it. Now she might not be doing the crazy, alter ego type of stuff, but they definitely put her in that same space where she has to be the aggressive black woman just so that she could be, a champion. Which by no means, if you're a heel, of course you're supposed to be aggressive, but we've seen that a lot in professional wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, not professional wrestling. WWE.
yeah.
It's mainly WWE because, I mean, we've seen Tony Khan push, black wrestlers, and they didn't have to change their entire persona in order to get what they were looking for.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Willow Nightingale is one of the most, if not the most over woman in AEW.
Mhm.
And he hasn't tried to change her not one bit.
That's true. That's true. And she is pretty aggressive too. She's not a heel. She's definitely a face. She's baby face. But I'm saying she does have those moments when she turns on that switch flips, and then she becomes super ultra aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And she can handle herself in that ring too, so you know what I mean?
But look, and don't be surprised when she finally does come back if the same thing happens to Bianca Belair.
Oh, you saying like Bianca Belair put in that same type of situation? I think that's what they're trying to look for to happen anyway. I think that's what they're trying to do anyway.
I personally think that, not to get off topic, I personally think that they should have waited for Bianca to come back. And Bianca, because everybody's been calling for Bianca to go heel. Her whole persona is a heel. It just like smells and sounds like a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they should have waited for her to come back and give her the heel role. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I think that would have made more sense for her to be the heel before Jade. But I get why they're doing it. I definitely get why they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I mean, I honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I mean? So I like Jay Cargill. I do think she need a little bit of work. You know what I'm saying, as far as her in-ring ability. But if they were going to book her this way, they should have did this from the get-go. As soon as she had came to the main roster, if you knew you wasn't going to put her in NXT, this is how you should have booked her from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Not wait until all this extra stuff happened. You should have booked her like this from the jump, because it would have made more sense. Then you basically would have been taking the formula of AEW and then using it for your disposal over in your promotion, just so you could further her career. I would have did it like that. But getting back to the Devon joint real quick, because I don't want to get too off topic. Getting back to the Devon joint real quick, like I didn't know, and I guess I was just naive to it. But in my personal opinion, I just, I've been watching JR since I was a kid. Even when he was in the WCW days, I just never looked at him as that. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he used to be next to Tony Schiavone, and I just never looked at him as a racist. You know what I'm saying? Or as somebody that didn't like black people. It wasn't until I started getting all these like hints and clues and whatnot, and I still was kind of like, I don't know. And then when Devon just confirmed it, I was like, oh, okay. So I guess, everybody was right. You know what I mean? Because there has been some people out there that have been hinting on it, but they just never came out and said it. It was kind of like plain as day when Devon came out and said it. And by all means, you know what I'm saying, he need to speak his truth. He need to speak his reality, because like a lot of y'all folks will go and say like, well, why didn't he say it back then? Why did he say it back then? Why did he come forward? Like, how you know what he said when he was there? You don't know what he said. He clearly said he didn't like what was coming out of the guy's mouth. Like, he clearly said that. And not for nothing, too, like, when you're in WWE and you're in a certain position, at times, like, it might be hard for you to speak out. You know what I'm saying? It's not everybody is so bold that they're going to just speak out right away. Some people are just going to hold back, Now, there's some people that have that voice and they are in that position to speak out, and they just never do because they're company people. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know Devon's wasn't one of those people, but like we said, like, you don't know people's status, so, him speaking out, you don't know people's position, their way of life, and all that stuff. Like, you don't know. So, like, for him to speak out now, it's probably a little bit more comfortable for him to do so. You know what I'm saying? And clearly, once he said it, everybody there was like, they were in agreement for the most part. So that must have mean that they knew something. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wasn't too shocked. Even Bubba Ray wasn't that shocked. He was a little shocked, but he wasn't that shocked. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing. I look at Bubba Ray as a brother, because I never heard nothing bad about Bubba Ray. You know what I'm saying? As far as that goes, like, I looked at him as a brother. I didn't even, I know he's white, but I'm just saying, like, I never heard nothing like that. And you could tell by the way he carries himself, like, he's been around black people. So, you know what I'm saying? You could just tell by the certain swagger, how they carry themselves, like they've been around colored people most of their life, for the most part, so you could just kind of tell. Because, like, with our cultures, we rub off on everybody's culture. We influence everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I lying? It's a fact. We do. You know what I mean? We have that type of personality, that our culture influences everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, salute to Devon Dudley, salute to Maven, Bubba, that whole entire podcast at that point, for putting it out there about that whole situation, because it needed to be talked about. They didn't, most people wouldn't want to talk about it, but they did it justice and spoke about it. I know JR is going through his health issues at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to frown on. It's nothing to, what I mean? Hey, hope he has a speedy recovery, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. I can't. Hey, yo, don't look at me like that, man. I'm just saying, like, you know how I am, bro. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. I can't see myself like, what I mean, stepping on him. You know what I mean? When I know, because I look at it like this. When you're that type of person, it comes around full circle. So if this is how you are in real life, eventually life is going to bite you back, in some shape or form. And we don't know, you know what I mean, if this is one of the occurring punishments that he's getting at the moment, you know what I'm saying? Because we all have to answer for something at some point in time. So, hopefully, he's not thinking the same way that he once thought, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully that him and Devon could probably meet up one day and he could, apologize. You know what I mean? And apologize to everybody else that he has spoke to that way, Because there's probably a lot more. If he did it to Devon, trust me, he did it to other folks too. Devon's not the only guy.
Before I hit up on this JR illness thing, I want people to know is like this is not something that's just a one-off thing, right?
Mm-mm.
We had Ahmed Johnson on our show talk about the same thing. What is it that he said about Triple H? Racist bitch.
Yep.
He also called Shawn Michaels racist. Now, do I think Shawn Michaels is racist now? No. I think with him in his faith, where his faith is today, I don't see him as one. And plus, if you watch NXT, it's kind of hard to call the man racist when his champion, Ricky Saints, and the one before that, Obafemi, and the one before that, Trick Williams, black. The women, Kalani Jordan was the first North American women's champion, black. Sol Ruka was just North American women's champion, black. So, I mean, I know the NXT women's champion right now is JC Jane. No, not Jay. She's not the champion anymore.
Nah, she's not the champion anymore. It's
Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley.
Yeah, Tatum Paxley. Yep.
But if I remember correctly, he has had. I mean, Lola Vice has been up in there. Jada Parker's been up in there. You know what I'm saying? So, do I see Shawn Michaels being in? No. Do I see Triple H? 1,000%. Let me tell you something that gave it away for me. It's not because we don't see family and black people on TV. It's the same thing that most people that do not like people of color, but they try to hide behind it by saying, I don't see color.
Yeah, I hate it when he said that. Oh my God, bro. Like, I can't stand when he said that.
I got you.
Yeah. The face, man. The face, man. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Like, I could not stand when he said that. When he said that, I said, come on, that's the easiest way out of the question. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even like when he was being interviewed that they were asking him, was he racist? They just said, they asked him something along the lines of black professional wrestlers, and then he said, I don't see color. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could have said something else, and that would completely threw them for a loop. You could have said something completely different. It's not like you're not a professional public speaker. You've been doing this for like over 30 plus years or more, bro. Like, come on, man. You could have said something totally different, and it was just throwing people for a loop. You know what I'm saying? You came out and said that. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, man. You're bugging. You know.
Tell me you're a racist without telling me you're a racist, right?
Yeah.
I don't see color. Everybody knows when you hear the phrase, there's two of them. There's two of them. I don't see color. And the other one, my best friend's black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me you a racist without telling me you a racist.
Mm-hmm.
I had this dude that I went to high school with, right? And he is right wing conservative. He's part of that group of people that is trying to make this a Christian nationalist thing. I get on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, and I call him out on his nonsense. And the first thing I said to him was like, when did you become racist? Because I remember being back in high school with you. Your best friends were black and they were twins. I'm not going to say their names, but they were black and they were twins. When did you become racist? Oh, that's mighty rich. That's mighty rich. I don't see black. I see content. I said, say less. Tell me you're racist without telling me you're racist. You don't see color. Everybody knows that is a dog whistle for I don't like black people. Everybody knows that. So you must think I'm some kind of idiot when you say, oh, I don't see color. I see the content of a man's character. Bullshit, motherfucker. You see color and you don't like the color that you're seeing. Now, go ahead.
Well, not for nothing either. Like, you know, when Ahmed was on the show, he definitely said that, you know, Triple H was one of the guys that, you know, that was putting him in the hot seat on a lot of stuff, you know, and I don't feel like that was cool too. And at that time, Triple H was an active wrestler. He wasn't where he's at right now, you know. The moral of this whole thing is that, you know, it exists. It exists in professional wrestling. It exists in WWE. At some point in time, y'all gonna have to just get together and just deal with it. You know what I mean? And stop trying to mask it, like cover it up. Just deal with it. Just talk about it. Like no one's asking you to start a civil rights movement. We're asking you to be professionals, be mature, and discuss it and see how you can fix it. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want to see. That's all we want to see. You know what I mean?
And
Ain't no one's asking for a 1,000,000-man march. No one's asking for you to get Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and you know what I'm saying? No one's asking for all that. We're asking for you to speak about the issue and rectify it. That's it.
And not even just that. This is not something that white people have to go through, right? They don't have to deal with the racism and stuff like that. Another thing that we ask is that when we as people of color tell you something that we've personally been through, because I could tell you a few stories.
Mm-hmm.
Being in Oklahoma, I could tell you a few stories. When we tell stories about the kind of stuff that we've dealt with, don't combat us. Like, try to come from an area of empathy, of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I ask for. Like, don't try to combat what I'm saying because you don't believe it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here telling you it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Devon is telling you it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmed Johnson sat on this show and told us it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing. Don't try to combat us when we're telling you because it's not your experience. It's my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just come from a place of empathy and understanding. And another thing, I know what you said earlier. I've been holding it in. I'm going to let it out now.
Mm-hmm.
JR being in bad health. Fuck that. He listen, excuse my language, but fuck that. Because he was in perfectly good health when he was doing it. So
Yeah.
why should I feel bad for him because he's in bad health? You better start answering for it.
Yeah.
I hope and pray that you are praying to the Lord for forgiveness.
Yeah.
I hope before he calls you home, you go to Devon, you go to everybody that you've offended by being the way that you are, and you apologize. And not only do you apologize, you don't ask for forgiveness. No, you beg for forgiveness. Because the kind of stuff that has come out of Devon's mouth, the kind of stuff that has come in from Ahmed Johnson's mouth is just simply it makes my blood boil. It's not okay. It's not okay. And to the people out there that look at me like I'm stupid, when I tell stories of the stuff that I've gone through in Oklahoma and in Texas and want to combat me because I'm telling my experience, fuck you too. And I hope and pray that one day, I hope you don't ever have to go through it. I've been pulled over in small town Oklahoma. Pulled over other than DWB. Driving while black in small town Oklahoma, leaving one of my best friend's weddings. There was no alcohol, no nothing involved. It was a wedding. Nothing else was involved. Me and another good friend of mine were leaving to go back to where we came from after the wedding. We get pulled over, get thrown on the ground, and said that they know that we have drugs on us. Thrown on the ground in cuffs.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for my friend's mother, who worked for the city council, that knew these cops, got them fired, I don't know where I'd be today. That's my experience. That's all I'm going to say about that. I have more stories, but I'm just saying, don't combat people when they're telling you their experience, because it's not your experience.
Yeah.
Come from a place of empathy and understanding. And JR, fuck your health. Apologize to these men and women that you've offended throughout your life.
I mean, there you have it. You know, it ain't really nothing else to say. It's nothing to rebuttal. Like, it is, you know. This is my thing. Like, speak your truth. Speak your truth. If these things you've went through, then talk about it. Voice it. Speak on it. Like, I don't think it's fair to like harness those type of like, you know, those type of experiences and not speak about it because of the place that you work or who you're affiliated with or this and that. Because if you don't talk about it, then how is it going to be rectified? Like, why do people feel like they have to wait so long just to speak on? And not for nothing, I understand. You know, when you're in certain positions, like you can't. Sometimes you really can't say nothing. You know what I mean? So I get it. But when you get to a certain position where you can, and you know nobody's gonna say nothing to you about it, then I feel like you should speak on it. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of other people that have experienced it, that have become company folk, and they won't talk about it, but they know they went through it billions of
Booker
times.
T.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, they've experienced it and they went through it and they don't want to talk about it. Because they feel as if not acknowledging it is going to make it go away. No, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. It's not. It's not. It's going to stay. In fact, it's going to be even more embedded in the system until you say something about it. And this is why I'm happy that Devon and Maven and Bubba, all of them said something about it. I'm glad. So now we can get to a place where more people could come out, more people can feel comfortable. Oh yeah, well, if Devon talked about it, maybe I should say something about it.
And he's in WWE Hall of Fame, and he spoke out about it.
Yep.
They put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And he spoke up about it.
Yep. And I know what y'all gonna say. Oh well, he was only able to talk about it because he's not working for the E anymore, and also JR's not working for the E anymore. Listen. Let me tell you something. If WWE wanted to do something about it, they would have did something about it a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? WWE doesn't want to touch those type of topics because of the simple fact that they know they're going to be asked like 1,000,000,001 questions because of their history. Go ahead. All right, you muted.
Unmuted. Devon is actually underneath the WWE Legends contract, so technically he is under contract, and he still spoke about it. So there's that.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. So, hey, what's the rest of y'all excuse? What's the rest of y'all excuse? That's what I want to know. What's the rest of y'all excuse?
What they gonna do? Fire him from a Legends contract? Like, I'm sure that him, Bubba Ray has his own show on Busted Open. You think WWE or TKO's gonna stop Bubba Ray from speaking his truth on his own show that's on worldwide satellite radio? No. No, they wouldn't. They don't have no control over that. So if they try to stop Devon from speaking his truth, or try to stop Bubba from speaking his truth, and try to fire them from their WWE Legends contract, they got a whole nother platform on Busted Open Radio, on Sirius Radio, where they can speak however they want.
Well, it's a free country, man. You're entitled to speak however you feel. I just wish people use that a little bit more often and stop trying to muzzle their voice when it comes to stuff like this. That's just how I feel. But, Anyway, I'm pretty sure we're going to tap this topic again because something else is definitely probably going to happen at some point in time. And we're going to touch this topic again. But yeah, salute to Devon Dudley. Salute to the whole Dudley boys. Salute to Maven. Like, I like Maven's podcast. Maven's podcast is dope. Like, he touches a lot of topics that nobody be wanting to touch. And I like that, man. I like that. Being that he goes out there, like he even travels. He goes out there, he gets the content. So I we over here can appreciate that. So salute to that whole episode, Anyway, we'll be back again with another episode, Ring Ropes Turnbuckle Podcast. Hey, look, hey, jamming out.
Yeah. Salute.
Following podcast scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.